Good morning, I'm Tony Jacopin. We are back on K2 Born. So the topic of the day is BRIC countries, the emergence of new corporate giants. So if you went through the different topics that we saw concerning BRIC countries, you know that in terms of macroeconomic data, these countries have been doing a fantastic job. Now, if you look, we're around Rio with Corcovado, Pau de Azúcar, Copacabana. Well, and what we can say is that when we look at this phenomenon, it's not only a matter of macroeconomic data, we're talking as well about the emergence of firms of first level. In that sense, would you know which company had 30 billion benefits in 2011 and 40 billion benefit in 2012? You would say, well, I guess you're talking about emerging, no, you're talking about industrialized company. You're talking about Apple. No, you're wrong. We're talking about second company in the world in terms of profit, and it's an emerging country based. We're talking about Gazprom, number one being ExxonMobil with 45 million profit. So this is quite interesting, isn't it? Now, again, when we're talking about the BRIC, you've got lots of things that can be mentioned. Which bank can earn up to, I insist, it varies over time, up to 1 million clients per month? Well, you say, I'm sure we're talking about Chinese company. No, we're not talking about Chinese company. We're talking about an Indian bank, ICICI, that uses microfinance with the self-help groups. They create a group of 20 people, one account for these people. As soon as they become, let's say, maybe not proficient in terms of banking, but at least they got the basic in terms of it, they can move into it, and they decided that they had a compromise at social level, because it is a good way as well to have a fantastic financial leverage. If all these people that are at the bottom of the pyramid in India are able to reach the middle class. So, second example, just to show you how it works. Now, when we're talking about Santander Bank, you say, well, it's one of the best banks in the world. It's a Spanish bank, number one, number two in the Euro bank in the Eurozone, sorry. And you say, well, the major threat, there should be a Spanish or whatever. No, the major threat, it's the M&A, the fusion, the merger and acquisition between Itaú and Unibanco. For the first reasons, this is a major bank right now in Brazil. Number two is Bradesco. Number three is Banco do Brasil. And number four is Santander. And because Santander is eager to expand a lot in Latin America, and apart from its presence in Latin American countries such as Mexico, which is its second country in Latin America, Argentina, Colombia, and so on. Well, Brazil is a major bet. So the success of this bank will depend on the success of this adventure in Brazil. Really important to note. So the emergent top leader is really interesting to see. Just to give an example, if you take the indicators of social responsible investment, it's interesting to see that at you got the one of that is led by the SAM for the World Sustainability Index indicator ranking, and basically it's divided according to the SAM by 20 super sector. So unique one that is led by a company from an emerging world is the banking sector, and the leading company, Itaú Unibanco. So this is quite interesting to see that new best practices are emerging, and they come not necessarily from industrialized countries. They come always more from the emerging countries. And again, you will say, okay, if you're a fan of us and you're a Chinese guy, maybe you say, what a surprising question. Sure it is. Much more. You should have always more people getting insight concerning these companies. But if you look at the reality with the prism of a Westerner, most of them don't know the Chinese companies. And despite their fantastic performance, it's still a phenomenon that is widely ignored. And this is the reason why I just asked this question. Could mention, well, amongst the most important known, you've got the four major banks that are in the Forbes 2000 ranking, amongst them ICBC. You've got a company in the PC business, such as Lenovo, in the white product, higher, better than GE. You've got company in automotive industry. You've got Jellies that has acquired Volvo. You've got three major telecommunication company, China Unicom, China Telecom, and Huawei, for instance, and we can go on like that. So it's really important that people get aware about this potential, because it's really important to know it. So now, when we're talking about this phenomenon in 2013, with when we're talking in 2014, with not all the publication of all the data concerning 2014 in terms of consolidation. So here, what we get, what is quite interesting to see is that first, top 20, some improvement concerning companies, but not that big. From the first data that are emerging for 2013, it seems the progression of Chinese company is quite impressive. This is a unique data, but because we don't have all of them, well, we need to wait out to be sure that what we're saying is relevant. Then it's quite interesting to see that strong progression among the companies of the BRIC. And then you can see Brazil moving from 13 to 33 in only 9 years. So it means that it's an eviction effect, and this eviction effect means that if Brazilian companies are growing faster and better than their counterpart in the world, well, it has to be at the expense of someone. So we're going to see at the expense of who we can be. In the case of Russia, multiplied by 4 and half, so fantastic result. India from 20 to 56 by 3 almost, and China without Hong Kong by 4.5 as well. So you can see that it's we are talking about a new phenomenon. This phenomenon is the consolidation of local firm in the BRIC, and these firms are becoming global as well. So this is really interesting. The second point, as you can see, is it just shows that when we're talking about delocalization, offshoring, and blah blah blah, or similar terms, well, the reality is that it's not successful. It doesn't work. It's either too late, it's not done, or what would be even more frightening, and the upcoming years will tell us, maybe in terms of best practice, industrialized country do not have anymore the best practice. So this is a big issue that we will discuss in the following K2 Born Anytime videos and webinar, and any insight we'll get from specialists, just to provide you some really interesting issue concerning this element. It's fundamental that you get aware about this, because it means that until now, internationalization to emerging countries was just considered as an logic movement toward expansion. Say, I'm going to get the market share broad. Well, now things are changing. You will have always more M&A, merger and acquisition, from companies from emerging countries that will go into industrialized countries. So it's a major change, and it means, if you're positive, what I am, the end of the current crisis, but on the other hand, it means that the center of decision will move definitely towards emerging countries. This is the reason why it's really important that you pay attention to the emergence of this company. It's really important that you realize that future of management practices will come definitely from this area. I hope that you enjoy this K2 Born Anytime video, and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.